Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. It's Friday night Knicks on Into the Knicks-Verse. And it's a bummer. It's a bummer of a Friday night. It's a bad Friday. The New York Knicks had a nice little lead against the Philadelphia 76ers in Philadelphia, and they were not able to hold on to it. In fact, they kind of reverted back to their worst version of themselves, where they take the team lightly that's in front of them and they start coughing up the ball. They start getting lackadaisical, Clyde's favorite word, one of his favorite words, turnover after turnover, and then they couldn't answer back with big buckets. They kind of went cold in that second half, especially in the fourth quarter, and then the other team caught fire. And guess where they were shooting from? Behind the three-point line. Exactly. It's not like we had built a 30-point lead. It was precarious. It was only a 12-point lead. We're going to get into it. We're going to break it all down, look at the stats, and I think it's going to be a quick one because, look, the Knicks play again tomorrow, and it's really not worth talking too much about this game at the moment. I think the Knicks got caught. They got caught believing our hype. You know, we'll see. Let's get to it. Here we go. The New York Knicks lost 119-108 to the Philadelphia 76ers. And this is after Jalen Brunson went off for 20 points in the first quarter. 20 points. He was a beast. Only Randall and I believe Carmelo Anthony have scored 20 or more in the first quarter before. And RJ Barrett, I got to say, I think a lot of people are going to make it his responsibility for losing this game. He definitely was a key component to it, but a lot of people had a hand in losing this game. You know, what do I always say about when it is that you make the turnover that really matters? Of course, turnovers in the first quarter, first half are terrible, no matter what. Statistically, they're just as bad. But in terms of momentum shifting, this is where the human element of the game comes in. When you're coughing up the ball and the other team is trying to claw back into the game, you're literally handing them momentum. You're creating momentum, and then they hit big momentum shots, and you don't answer back with your big shots. And then you're in their arena, and you're staring up at the scoreboard where you were once up 12, and now you're down 6. Did the Knicks have it? Were they going to be able to come back? They came back against the Sixers on last Sunday. Weren't able to do it tonight. They actually had the lead, so it's a shame because this would have been a really, really sweet victory for the New York Knicks. Josh Hart didn't play. He passed his physical, but he sat behind the bench in street clothes. I'm sure he was chomping at the bit. We could have used him in this game. Definitely could have used him in this game, especially in that second half, especially in that fourth quarter when Tyrese Maxey started going off. I would have probably kept Deuce in there a little longer to battle with Maxey, to try to cool him off, throw him off his game. Once he gets cooking, these guys, once they get cooking, they keep on cooking. So I would have left Deuce in there a little longer, but it's hard. It's a tough decision to make at that moment. So Randall, I mean, statistically, he has a phenomenal game here. 11 of 20, 30 points, 5 of 11 from the three-point line. He was hitting threes like a Steph Curry. 10 boards again, another double-double, 3 dimes, 1 beautiful dime to a cutting Grimes for the layup. That was fantastic. I was like, oh, what's he doing with I didn't even know what he was doing. And then suddenly, boom, boom, nice bounce pass. Awesome. Jericho Sims, only 2 points, 5 personal fouls, 2 of them completely, I don't even understand the concept. Why are you getting handsy with the MVP candidate, the leading scorer last season, Joel Embiid? Why? And then he goes up and he fouls him, and then he just kind of, he acts like he didn't touch him. And then, of course, for Joel Embiid, a 12-footer is money in the bank. So not only does he connect, then he gets to go to the free throw line and make it into a three-point play. Not smart. Jalen Brunson, I told you, he got 20 in the first quarter. He got 10 points in the remaining 3 quarters. I will hand it to the Sixers. They stepped up their defensive intensity, especially on him. They were blitzing him, double teaming him, making his life very difficult. They put a little bit of length on him, but it really was just defensive intensity, and they got the ball out of his hands. And he did pick up 9 dimes tonight, which is awesome for him, and 7 rebounds. He had another statistically spectacular game. 30 points off of 12 of 19, 2 of 4 for the three-point line, 7 rebounds, 9 assists. But I want you to look at that three-point line number there. 2 of 4. This is now we get down to the nitty-gritty of strategy. 4 three-point attempts is not enough. Not enough when you're especially when you're cooking. It's not enough. You've got to shoot at least 7. That's 3 more. You could have hit 1 more, 2 more. At a certain moment, it could really swing the tide. And there was a moment in that fourth quarter where I think the Knicks had cut it down to about 2, maybe 3, maybe it was 4. And Brunson got the ball. It was kind of like it was a semi-fast break. Got the ball. He was out on the three-point line on the right above the break. And instead of taking the shot, he drove, and it turned into a nothing burger. These are the things that he's going to have to learn. He's going to have to learn when to take, and he's been doing it. Remember, I've been seeing him taking some monster shots, especially from that right side above the break on the three-point line. He loves that spot. I was like, oh, he's going to take it. He's going to make it. And he passed up on it. And it would turn into I think that was the play when it bounced around and Sims ended up getting it to him, and then Sims tried to pass it back to Brunson. And P.J. Tucker tipped the ball. It was on the right corner. P.J. Tucker tipped it, but then it actually bounced off of Brunson's hands. The refs gave the ball to the Knicks at first, but Doc challenged it, and they got the ball back. I think there was like a minute and a half left in the game, maybe a minute and 40 left in the game at that point. And so that kind of hurt us right there. R.J. Barrett, also a nice statistical game, though 16 attempts for 19 points isn't so great, even though he hit 3 of 5 from the three-point line, which is nice. Shot 60% from the three-point line, but only 3 rebounds for R.J. Rebounding was the major issue in this game, and it was one of the main reasons why the Sixers were able to claw back in this game. Not only did they step up their defensive intensity, but they also started fighting for the loose balls, getting rebounds, getting offensive rebounds, and hurting us on the other end. So you'll see when I show you the team comparisons. I believe we lost it 39-35. Though 39 rebounds is not even a lot for the team that ends up with the most rebounds. So it's kind of an odd game tonight. But a lot of it is because there weren't necessarily that many rebounds to be had. Look at the Knicks shot 53.1%. 53.1%. And 34.4% from the three-point line, but ended up with only putting up 32 three-point attempts. We're not going to be able to beat good teams if we don't put up at least 38 to 40 three-point attempts. It's just the facts of it, because they're doing it. If they're a good team, that means they shoot the 3. That means they hit the 3. And you can't count on them having an off night. No. You have to match their firepower with our firepower. I know that we usually feast in the paint, but it wasn't there tonight necessarily. It was a struggle for the Knicks to feast in the paint. And there were some moments there, like RJ there was one moment he just threw the ball up in a very key moment in the game. Like it was like about 3 minutes left. The Knicks are trying to get back in it, and they got a little bit of momentum. And I think they had cut the lead back down to something within striking distance, because I think they had gotten down to about 9 points behind. They had trimmed it down, and then he gets into the paint. He just kind of tosses. It was short, but it didn't even look like it had any chance at all the second it left his hands. It didn't look like he was really focused on making the shot, and that's really disappointing. Not to mention his defensive issues, but offensively, come on, bro. Quentin Grimes, 3 of 7, missed all 4 of his three-point shots. If it weren't for the big mid 3 or whatever of the Knicks connecting on 10 of 20, the Randall, Brunson, and Barrett combined for 10 of 20 from the three-point line, and we still lost this game because no one else hit a three-point shot except for Quickly. The rest of the team went 1 for 12. The rest of the team went 1 for 12. That's a sad state of affairs, and that's something, unfortunately, Josh Hart is not going to necessarily help us with. I hope he recaptures his 3-point stroke, but he's only averaging 30% per game right now from the 3-point line, so it's not like he's going to give us a jolt of that. We might need to look at expanding to the 10-man and giving Fournier some looks, giving him some shots. On the nights when the rest of the guys are not connecting from the 3-point line, Thibs is going to have to feel it out and get Evan Fournier into these games for his 3-point marksmanship. He's one of the best 3-point shooters in the NBA, and he's sitting there on our bench collecting a check. So use him. Use him, man. Hartenstein, even though he ends up 3 for 3, 6 rebounds, did get 1 dime, I don't think he had a particularly good game himself. Deuce, the same for him. He only played 9 minutes. I would like to have seen him play a little bit longer, but he was not giving us anything offensively. But defensively, he was definitely contributing. Would like to have seen him more. Obi Toppin, 11 minutes only, 1 for 4, missed all 3 of his 3-point shots. The one from the corner that he got from the right corner would have been a great one. Those are the momentum ones. They didn't hit any of these, and this was at a moment when the Sixers were catching fire because they were playing off of the defensive intensity that they were providing on the other end, and it was giving them like a boost of energy and confidence. And then when Maxey, I'll show you his stat line, man, he just went off. Let's see and Emmanuel quickly was the only contributor from the bench who gave us much of anything. 5 of 8, ended up with 13 points, but only 1 of 4 from the 3-point line. Missed the key 3-point attempt in that fourth quarter as well. Ended up with only 1 rebound and 3 dimes. Let's look at the plus minus. Here we go. You can see Randall was a -6. Sims ended up even. Brunson a -3, and Barrett a -4. Quentin Grimes a -7, and those stats really do reveal the truth. And this is considering the Knicks got off to an incredibly hot start. They were once up 20-7 in this game in the first quarter, and the Sixers kept calling back in, chipping away at it until they finally took the lead late. I want to pull up the So they started off. The first quarter, Knicks led 36-28. But we lost every quarter after that. We lost the second quarter, 31-29. Then we lost the third quarter, 33-28. And then a total offensive collapse in the fourth quarter, 27-15. And again, I saw it. The ball stopped moving in that fourth quarter. Guys were trying to get there, trying to make stuff happen. Doesn't happen unless you share that ball. That's my opinion. It was totally opposite of what we had seen in the previous game, where they had how many assists did they have in that fourth quarter, the last game? I know Brunson himself had 3, so that just shows you the ball kept moving. He kept the ball moving, so it's pretty disappointing. You can see the bench didn't do the job. -11 for Hartenstein, and that definitely shows. -11 for Quickly, -8 for McBride, and -5 for Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin, bro, got to toughen up, man. Got to toughen up. I don't know what you got to do at the moment, but I would, start drinking some protein shakes and hit the weights in the next couple of weeks. We need you to gain some girth. All right, we need you. You're a high flyer. You got the speed, but now you need the strength. You need that core strength. You are too top heavy. You're kind of light all the way through, but it's not like you have a great spring, but you need to beef up that core so that you don't get pushed around so easily, because it's becoming an issue. There was also a play where you were guarding Tyrese Maxey. He cut through the paint, and I thought you were going to get the block, and you just didn't time your jump right, and Maxey just right over you, and it was a bucket for him. Here's the Sixers box score. As you can see, Embiid ended up with 35 points. Look at Embiid's efficiency, 14 of 18. Insane. Only took 1 3-point shot, Didn't make it. 11 rebounds, 6 dimes for him. 35, 11, and 6 for Joel Embiid in 38 minutes of play. James Harden, the beard, 20 points for him, 12 dimes, 8 boards, 2 of 8 from the three-point line, 7 of 17 overall. Tobias Harris, again, not necessarily a good productive game for him. 12, 4 and 4 for him on 5 of 13 shooting in 35 minutes. And but look at George Niang. He did hurt us this time. 3 of 5 from three-point line, left wide open several times. At one time, he was contested and he hit the 3, but the other 2 that he connected on, he was wide open. I think that actually could have been RJ's missed assignment. Not sure, but definitely RJ was often just didn't rotate over, and that stuff just can't happen. I mean, you can't. Sixers are not the Magic. It should be obvious. They're above you in the standings. They're now 35 and 19. Like, they're the better team technically than you. So that means you should try to play your very best against them. I didn't see that. Didn't see that at all, especially from RJ. 30 and 27 are the Knicks now. We're only 3 games over 500. It's rough, man. These are the rough type of losses, especially when we got off such a great start. Tyrese Maxey was probably the actual, well, of course, Embiid and his efficiency is tremendous, but Tyrese Maxey is the main reason why they were able to win this game. In his 33 minutes, he didn't start. He comes off the bench, played 33 minutes, hit 5 of 8 3-point shots, and he did a monster one, like a 34-footer or something, from the left side of the court over Jalen Brunson. Just beastly bucket. And that's the other thing. When we were taking our threes, we were so tight up to the three-point line. They were contesting up high, so we were taking more difficult. I think sometimes you need to take that extra step back, especially guys like IQ and Grimes who do have some range. Take an extra step back and let it fly. I would have liked to have seen Thibs, like I said before, turn to Evan Fournier, even though he hasn't played all game. Who cares? He's a pro. The man's a pro. Turn to him, get him in there for a couple of minutes. Maybe he can give you a bucket or 2 while your team is struggling. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So this is the shot chart for the third quarter. The Knicks are the blue dots, and the Sixers are the black dots. The solid ones are makes, and the circles are misses. So as you can see, the Knicks in that third quarter, we hit 4 3-pointers, but we missed on 5, which is nice. 5 of that's pretty good. That's 5 of 9. No, 4 of 9. I would take that any day. 4 of 9. But the Sixers, they got a lot of fouls. They went to the free throw line many, many times in that third quarter, and we did not. So they picked up the extra and ones. And it stops the game, stops the clock, lets them get their win. But check this. Check out what happens here in the fourth quarter when you really need to make your shots, especially if you're not defending to the level you should be. Here it is. Knicks only attempted 5 3-pointers in the fourth quarter. We connected on 2 of them, though. That's 40%. But look, and mind you, this is not necessarily statistically accurate. I'm just going off by what I can see on this chart here. Look at the Sixers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 made 3-pointers. That's 18 points for them right there. 18. And we got 6. That's plus 12 for them. That was the game. They came back and they won it right there. But there was a moment in that third quarter, to go back to the third quarter. The Knicks, like I said, we were once up by 12. We were up by 12 with 6 minutes and 36 seconds left. And then the Sixers came down. They scored a 3-point bucket. And we came down and we scored a 3-point bucket. And I believe it was Jalen Brunson who got it in the third quarter. So with 6 minutes and 25 seconds left, the Knicks led by 12. All right. Then, they tied it. Then what happened was, it came down. James Harden hit a finger roll layup. Boom, bucket right there. So now the score is 86-78. Okay, with about 5.5 minutes left. RJ goes to inbound the pass to Brunson. He was trying to lead him, but Brunson just stopped for some reason. Or there was just, I mean, it's always on the passer, but it's just not communicating, not looking at each other. And Brunson stopped. The ball drifted out. I believe it was Maxey got the steal. Goes right to the three-point line. Jacks it up. Boom. Connects. Now it's 86-81. So within just a few seconds, they scored 5 points, and they had scored 2 buckets before. So, boom. Now the lead, the 12-point lead, starts to evaporate. Now it's only a 5-point lead. Now, we had let the Sixers come and tie the game at 38 all in the first half, and then we were able to build up a little lead back up. So we had shown that resilience. So I was thinking, okay, maybe we'll see that a little bit of that again. No. Because then Thibs calls a timeout, and they run a play, and it's Randall misses a 26-foot three-point shot attempt. Tucker gets a rebound. They come back down, and then it kind of gets a little sloppy here. Hartenstein does get a block on Maxey. Brunson gets the rebound, and then RJ goes and tries to do a layup. He gets his shot blocked. So then it's about 4 minutes left. Actually, almost 5 minutes left in the game. Excuse me. And Embiid hits a nice little 10-footer. So now the score is 86-83 with 4.5 left. You can just see the momentum just shifted completely. They're at home. They got the crowd cooking. It was a sold-out night because this is a big game. This is 2 big division rivals, Eastern Conference rivals. We had just beaten them. We made this miraculous comeback to beat them, led by the bench. So the Sixers, they definitely wanted to show some pride and win in front of their home crowd. Then Hartenstein commits a foul. RJ gets subbed out, quickly comes into the game, and Embiid, little pull-up bank shot. Now the score is 86-85. Then Brunson commits a turnover, a traveling turnover. Boom. Embiid hits another bucket. They take the first lead. So then now it's 87-86. Sixers are winning. Then Brunson steps out of bounds. It was a pass to him. I can't remember the exact play. Can't remember exactly, but he stepped out of bounds. So it was 2 back-to-back turnovers for Brunson. And God, it's frustrating to even talk about. So now there's about 2.5 minutes left in the game. Hartenstein hits a nice layup. So we regain the lead, 88-87. It goes back and forth here and there. Brunson gets a foul call, hits his 2 free throws. Now it's 90-87 with 2 minutes left. But then George Payne and my ass Niang hits a 3-point shot off of Joel Embiid assist. But Randall comes down. He hits a 3-point shot. So at this moment, you're thinking, you know what? This is it. We're showing some fight. 93-90 with a minute left in this game. But quickly gets a 3-point look, misses. And if I remember that one correctly, I think that one, he may have actually passed up a better opportunity earlier. I'm not exactly sure. But so he misses that. It must have been, I think it's the dot. Oh yeah, it's the blue circle above the 3-point make there on the left side there, behind the arc. That's the one that quickly missed. And then it's a scrap back and forth, and we go into and then Tyrese Maxey. That's when he hits his 2. That's the one where he hits the 2-point shot. A layup. So then it's 93-92. So the quarter ends 93-92, and I don't think the Knicks weren't not ready in that fourth quarter at all. It's really depressing, but the Knicks were able to keep battling, and with the 6 minutes left, we were only down 3. The score was 106-103 after a Randall turnaround jump shot, and Niang had a missed turnover, but then there was The Sixers got several offensive rebounds, and finally, it all ended up with Joel Embiid getting a steal and getting the ball to George, pain in my ass, Niang once again. Boom! For a three-point shot. Now it's 109-103 with 5 minutes left. You still think we might have a chance, right? But then Randall makes a bad pass, so it's a turnover, resulting in a maxi steal. And then that's it. We just couldn't answer back. Brunson misses a pull-up jumper. And then Grimes misses a 24-foot three-point shot with 3 minutes and 40 seconds left. Niang gets the rebound, and he finds Tobias Harris. Actually, Embiid, once again, finds Tobias Harris for a dunk. And then it's 111-103, and that's pretty much was the game. Well, there was a little bit of a battle. I told you we almost were able to come back a little bit later. About a minute later, we fought a little bit, gained a couple points, but then just didn't have enough life in us. Very disappointing loss. As you can see here, the Knicks were out. It was 49 rebounds. Sorry, 49-40. So we were out rebounded by 9. Assists, they had 27. We only had 23. We are the worst assist team in the league. They had 8 steals because we had 12 turnovers. They only had 6, so they were +6 in the turnover mark there. We did end up with 5 blocks, which is nice. And we outshot them, 53.1% to 51.8% for them. But the three-point line, they outshot us. They shot about 36%. We shot 34.4%. And once again, the free throws. We were missing free throws, and those all add up. Those little leads, when it's like 3 points or whatever, they could have been 6 points. It could have been 8 points leads if we had hit our free throws. Didn't happen tonight. You can see here, this is one stat I wanted to look at here. Points off turnovers. Yep. They got 16 points off of our turnovers. We only got 8. So there's the +8 right there, and that's pretty much almost the final score. Very annoying loss. I tell you, man, these Knicks, they give you and they take from you. We play the Jazz tomorrow. 7:30 start. We better come out with some fire. We better get that win. I will not accept a loss. If we lose tomorrow, I'm coming out with some major heat today. I think it was a smart move by Thibodeau to rest Hart, let him watch the game, let him get a feel for it. He'll probably do a walkthrough tomorrow, and he probably will play tomorrow, and he'll have some fresh legs. So let's hope that the new addition will help that bench, especially when they start struggling defensively and they're not getting those loose balls. And he's great at those grab and goes. Gets the rebound and just goes. Takes a cross court from one end to the other. He's fantastic at doing that. So I want to see him continue doing that. Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this. Again, my name is George. Please subscribe right there. Twitter, Instagram. Get your merch, your gears. And, man, hit that thumbs up button if you like this video. And drop your comments. Definitely want to hear how you guys feel about this game. All right. I will see you tomorrow around the